Hello and welcome back to the Lee Summit Town Hall podcast. I'm your host, Nick Parker. Liesl Hayes is out this week. We wish her the best as she's dealing with a death in her family. A quick reminder, the Lee Summit Town Hall podcast is brought to the good people by Budget Blinds of Lee Summit, your home for signature series shades. And hey, they're actually looking for some help. So if you are looking for work, you want to do some install work, they're looking for an installer. They're awesome people, local people running a local business. Go over to Budget Blinds of Lee Summit. You can work with some great people that do a lot of good in the community. As a matter of fact, speaking of good in the community, they are supporters of the event that we are going to talk about right here this week. We're ready to talk about Wings for Water again. I can't believe it's time to talk about it. Like we're already there, because I think of Wings for Water, I think of football, because we always kick off the Chiefs football season with Wings for Water. And once again, the Chiefs are coming off a Super Bowl victory. Welcome, Ryan Bryant, the sponsorship chair for Wings for Water. Ryan, how are you doing?
I'm well. Thank you for having me.
This is, you are a new face to some as this event has grown from Chris Turney's backyard to this giant thing we do now out at Paragon Star. And now he's like, a crew of people that help out officially now.
Yeah, this is the second year we've actually built out a steering committee to put this organization through everything we can do to be the most successful organization we can be. We've got this amazing event that takes place out there in September. And yeah, you brought up the Chiefs. One of the things about the Chiefs, every time they win, we have to actually change the date of the event. Why? Normally it's the first Thursday of September when the event is held. It's right after Labor Day. But when the Chiefs win that game called the big game, I won't say the word so we don't get censored there. But when they win that big game, guess what ends up happening? We have to go to the next Thursday. So this year it's on September the 12th out there at Paragon Star.
You know what? I think most people around here, we're okay with that sacrifice.
I'm okay with that too.
And if Chris were with us instead of, avoiding me again right now, I'd make fun of him that, this is a big event because now he's less involved and we have people like you on the steering committee.
Well, thank you. It's a good problem to have when you need more help, right?
I'm just mad at him because he stopped bringing me free wings.
Oh, we'll help you with that. No problem.
Yeah, he used to show up in studio with wings.
Oh, well, unfortunately, I didn't show up to the studio today, as you can tell. But we will definitely take care of you here in the near future with some delicious wings.
There we go. You know what? I'm just going to say it again. We will be cooking this year. Last year, I had a ringer. Last 2 years, actually, I had a ringer. I had Brandon Simpson from Jazzy Bees as my cook.
Love Jazzy Bees.
Brandon's unable to be my ringer this year, but don't fret, people. I went and got the cook from Joker Bees barbecue truck.
Nice.
And we're gonna have some killer wings.
That's awesome.
As a matter of fact, I'm gonna say it. We're gonna be top 10.
Okay.
We're gonna be top 10. You're gonna love our wings.
All right.
I don't want to give you spoilers yet.
I'm curious, what flavor are you going to be giving us?
Well, I'm not giving the spoilers yet.
No flavors yet. Okay.
No.
Nick, I was a cook myself for years at Wings for Water. So when Chris started this event in 2017, first year was in his backyard, right out there out at the local neighborhood HOA pool complex.
Right.
The next year, Chris came to visit me at my local bank. I work for UMB here. And we struck up a really great relationship. And he said, "Hey, man, you should come do this." I'm like, I didn't know what I was going to get into. Like, okay.
None of us did.
Yeah, right. I kind of knew, because if you've ever been to like a competition barbecue event, we're from Kansas City. We know what that looks like. Then you kind of have an idea, right? But it's chicken wings. Like, okay, whatever. So I went and checked it out that first year. I'm like, okay, this thing's pretty cool. It was out there at Bridge Space. Great event. Great people. Great turnout. The next year, I brought a ringer in, Mr. Brandon from Jazzy Bees.
Right.
And it was very fun. It was very competitive. And we had some competition barbecue level cooks and teams show up to participate in that event. And it's just grown year over year over year. Last year was the biggest year yet. We had over 50 sponsors signed up. Over 5,000 people showed up out of Paragon Star. It was an amazing event. Very well coordinated. The steering committee did such an amazing job of organizing this thing from the early stages to the planning stages to the sponsorship recruitment, the organization of the event itself. Great partnership out there at Paragon Star. Beautiful space they have out there. It's really made it very convenient for the local community to come together to celebrate chicken wings and celebrate clean water access. And oh
Yeah.
yeah, those
This will be
chiefs.
the third year at Paragon, right?
This will be year 3. That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So my first year cooking was when it was at Bridge Space.
Yeah.
Back there. And look, I consider myself a pretty darn good cook.
Okay.
I think I could hang with them. Problem was, I didn't realize what it would take to cook 400 wings in that time frame.
Yeah.
Like, we were not keeping up, and I think we did 200 wings. And so I ran out of sauce. We weren't keeping up with it. Was that scale is a whole thing if you're not used to it. I'm
100%.
not a commercial cook.
Yeah, man. So before I'm a banker by trade. Before I got into banking, I actually worked in the food service industry. So I've got a little bit of retained knowledge, legacy knowledge, if you will, in there that kind of kicked back in. Were you there when we did Wings for Water at Bridge Space during COVID when we had the drive-through?
That was the first year that I cooked.
That was like some of the, don't get me wrong, I've loved every event, but that was like one of the most fun events that we did just because of the like pure audibles we had to call with COVID. What a messed up year we all had to go through that year. But to watch it come together out there between how we set up the cooks, how we had the little drive through going through Bridge Space, so you got to drive and watch your wings getting cooked. That was such a cool experience. Unfortunately, there was a car accident that happened while they were doing the drive-through. It's like, I don't even know how that happened because you're driving like 2 miles an hour. But
it's just a little fender bender. It was fine.
Just a little bit, but it was such a fun event, man. And I tell you, we did that first year out at Paragon Star out in the South parking lot. Last year we did it in the parking lot that was closer to the soccer fields, and that thing just blew up, man. It was such a fun experience. Neil and the team out there did a great job helping us out. And myself personally, I had to get a ringer last year as a sponsorship chair. Quite honestly, I just didn't have enough time. I was trying to make as many rounds as I could out there to try and help out, like get the sponsors engaged. And one of the cool things from last year, and we're bringing it back this year officially, we just found out this week. Last year, we brought the Kansas City Barbecue Society in. So Kansas City Barbecue Society is the sanctioning body that governs over 400 competitions worldwide, including the World Series of Barbecue out at Kansas Speedway, right? And we wanted to make it different. We wanted to see if we could add an additional layer of fun for our cooks and our sponsors that come out. The way we do the voting. If you've never been to Wings for Water and you're listening, so the way it works is you come out there and you donate money and you get to eat chicken wings, and the money donated, all that money goes to clean water efforts. We have grants and organizations that we donate that money to. Well, not everybody gets to win that trophy, right? Not everybody gets the opportunity to win the most votes from the public.
Right.
So we said, how do we make this more fun for our cooks? So maybe you're not going to win the dollar vote, which is the overall champion, but you can win an actual competition, right? So we brought in KC Barbecue Society. We brought in the judges, Rich and Bunny, the reps from KC Barbecue Society, great people, awesome event. And everybody got to actually be judged by professional competition level judging, just like if they were cooking at the American World Series Barbecue. Great story, great time. And some of the competition barbecuers that were out there, no, I'm not trying to poke the bear on this one, they got beat by the backyard everyday barbecuers.
Yes.
That was the coolest thing, right? The folks that are like the experts at cooking and prepping and making it taste good for the judges, they got beat by the guy who's used to cooking in his backyard. It kind of falls in the spirit of Wings for Water when you think about it, right? Chris's story of how it got started, right? He was just doing it as a good thing. And then his buddy heard about this chicken wing contest he was doing, and my wings are better than your wings. Next thing you know, it turned into Wings for Water. So it was such a cool thing to get KC Barbecue Society involved last year. They're coming back this year. We're in the stages of finalizing that deal there. So that'll just add an extra layer of fun to the competition.
That's awesome. And I love too that it is still really about bragging rights. I mean, we're gonna do some good with money raised. Yeah. This is about bragging rights. Hey, let's go backward a little bit. Let's give everybody a quick refresher on Wings for Water. This is a one-time a year event. We raise some money, and we're putting water in places in the world that need water. So why don't you just kind of give people a quick refresher on that?
Absolutely. So Wings for Water, I'm going to give you a brief history very quickly, and then we'll get into like what we do with the funds that we raise. So Wings for Water was started in 2017. You heard his name before, by Chris Turney. Chris is a local attorney here in Kansas City. Great guy.
We forgive him for being an attorney.
We forget. And I kind of tease him that his name sounds like it. His last name is Turney,
Yeah.
right. So Turney does a great job of like just organizing in the community, and he started this competition all the way back in 2011. He was doing it for a good cause, for clean water efforts. Well, in 2017, that's when Wings for Water took off. That's when the competition started between him and his fellow buddies, the backyard cooks, right? Ever since that day, that time frame, this thing has just grown and grown and grown. It's a once a year event that we host out at Paragon Star. 5,000 people show up. Sponsors, local businesses, local cooks, competition cooks, etc. Anybody that wants to participate, there's a sponsorship fee. We have 3 levels that you can participate as a sponsor and a cook at Wings for Water. The goal with this is to raise money for clean water efforts and local relief efforts here in the Kansas City area. Clean water efforts, what does that look like? We go overseas, or we donate money to charities that go overseas and build water wells so folks have access to clean water. That's literally the difference between life and death. If you don't have access to clean water, it's literally the difference between life and death. And the goal would be to use those funds to build sustainable water sources, sustainable clean water for folks to be able to use for life. Over 6,000 families have benefited from the funds that we've raised here in the local community, Lee Summit, Eastern Southern Jackson County, folks that come in to join. Over 6,000 families have benefited from Clean Water for Life, thanks to our local community, our local businesses, local sponsors to come together once a year out there at Paragon Star Wings for Water. That's the organization. Last year was our biggest year yet. We had over 50 sponsors show up. So 50 sponsors and cooks came out, competition barbecuers, backyard barbecuers, just local businesses wanting to do the right thing. And then, of course, the local community, the folks that really helped drive this event came out to support us.
What I love too is it's not just backyard cooks and local businesses. Like other local nonprofits are putting a team out there.
Yeah.
Like other organizations that are used to asking, they should be asking money for themselves too, are taking part in this and partnering. Like everybody comes out for this one.
It's a whole effort. I love that. Yeah. Again, some of our previous sponsors that have come out from the local nonprofit community. We've got Coldwater, Monty over at Coldwater,
Yeah.
Jim,
I'm
and Jerry from Agua Viva. So many. What's that?
I'm taking him out this year.
Oh,
My wings are going to beat Monty's.
Okay. Go for it, man.
We got some competition.
Get it done. Lee Summit's also been a really big supporter of this as well. I got to give a shout out to the city of Lee Summit Chamber of Commerce, Water Services. They always do a great job of supporting us. The local police that come out and help us to keep the event organized, all the shenanigans in line. It's such a family-friendly event between the live music and the fun that we create, the different events and ways that folks organize their tents. There's not really a structure to it other than here's your tent, here's your space, go cook. Everyone makes it fun. That's the cool thing about it. And the different recipes. There was one recipe, I don't remember who the sponsor was last year, and I never would have thought about this, but they made chicken wings with tang.
Yes.
Right? You remember that?
Yes.
Tang chicken wings. Like I'm an old fashioned homer. When I go to cooking chicken wings, I make what I call smoky sweet heat. It's smoky. It's got a little sweet. It's got a little heat. Right. The best of everything. You got buffalo, but you also got some Kansas City built in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, chicken wings with tang. There was a sponsor last year, and amazing wings. They do the bacon wrap chicken wings. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Nashville.
Yeah, we had strawberry and chocolate.
Yeah. Brandon comes up with some really fun, he's pretty creative.
It was so good. He put it on his menu.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. So Wings for Water, the whole purpose behind this event, really, again, it's a community, completely organic event that just blown up out of proportion, like continues to get bigger and bigger every single year. And then we think through who gets the benefit of that. Local charities like One Good Meal here in Lee Summit, Roberta from One Good Meal. Yeah, we've done what we can to try and be as judicious as we can with how much we can give out there. Of course, we want to raise as much as we can. There's additional things that we're doing every single year that we kind of add into it. So this year there's a component where the public event actually won't start until 6:30, but you can buy early access to the event early on to get in front of the food when it's hot and fresh. That's a really cool add-on. And again, it's money that's donated. Nobody's making a dime off of this profit. It's pure 100% charity based. Yeah.
So if somebody wants to cook, somebody wants to sponsor
Yeah.
uh, these efforts? What can they do? How can they be involved?
Yeah, great question. First and foremost, our website, I'm going to do a couple call outs for you. Wings4water.com. The wings number four, excuse me, wings4water. Scratch that. Rewind. I did it. All right. Wings, the number four, water.org. Wings, the number four, water.org. Go check it out right now. You'll go and see the mission, the cause. You'll see a sponsor link on there where it walks you through all of that. So on our page, we have 3 sponsorship levels that you can be a part of. We have what's called our hot sponsor, our spicy sponsor, and then of course our atomic sponsor. So our spicy is our lowest level. Spicy is a $500 donation sponsorship, however you want to call it. That helps pay for the event, pay for the food permitting, all the things we need to set up and organize the event. We got all the chicken wings you need there. We have a great setup for you, a list of everything you need to participate. If you're a first-time cook or first-time participant in this event, we're not going to let you down. We've been doing this for years. We've got a very smart system. We'll get you
And
set up.
I think it's important to point out there too how easy the entry is in there. I mean,
Yes.
like I understand some small businesses, $500 might be a lot, but it's an easy way to get in because the wings are provided. You guys get
Mm-hmm.
a great donation every year with
Yep.
all the wings. Giant refrigerated truck full of wings is
Yeah.
out there. I mean, really, all you're doing is you're bringing your tables and your stuff to cook with and your sauce.
That's it. And you want a tent. You got to have a tent, right? You
You got
want
to have a
something
tent.
to, yeah, you
You
got
got
to
to
have
be
something to
covered.
cover you.
Health department's not going to let you go without that.
You know
But
that
I mean, you're really not. Your costs are not high.
not at all.
It is a pretty easy entry for this kind of an event.
Yeah. Being the banker, this is a friendly reminder. When you do those kind of things, we will give you a receipt so you can put that toward your taxes. So you're good there, right? Here's the thing that people don't think about. If you're a local business and you're trying to network in the community, of course you have the chambers of commerce. So get out to an event like that. You're going to touch 5,000 people and there's 50 local businesses that you can get in contact with. If you want to get exposure for your business, this is a great return on that investment of $500 just to get out there, right? And get connected with the community, get connected with the local business community, to be seen, to be heard. I love that. That's something that I'm pretty passionate about in my line of work is to be involved in the community. That's why Wings for Water really like benefited me and why I've continued to come back year over year, why my bank continues to be a sponsor of this event. It's just to get out there and be seen and be heard because that you can never overestimate or underestimate or estimate period the exposure that you get with an event like that.
Right.
That's an easy sell to me. $500 done. So the next level sponsor, Nick, is what's called the hot sponsor. That's $1,000 sponsorship. So you get all the same benefits, but you get additional exposure. You get social media posts. We try to get you as much exposure as we can in that event. That's all listed on the website out of wingsforwater.org. You just go to the sponsorship. It tells you everything you get with the sponsorship. And then we have what's called the atomic level sponsorship. That's the top tier. Those are the ones that when you see the photo walls and you're taking pictures, that's where the logos go. They get extra special love. They help us to pay for some of the bigger needed items to help put this event on with their sponsorship dollars. We have one or two, I don't remember right now. I know we have one committed, but I think we have one or two atomic level sponsorships left out there today. That's a $2,000 sponsorship. So those are when you see the bigger companies come in. But you know what? Some of the smaller companies, your actual small businesses are in that as well. So as an example, Greg Hasty, American Fire, they're a part of the organization. They're one of our atomic sponsors this year. He stepped up. You know, I work for UMB Bank. Obviously, we're the local hometown bank. We're a big brand in town, but you can be a small business and be a part of that.
And we've got
atomic.
a local insurance agent at that level.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think of all sizes of business
Yeah,
can get involved in that, and I just keep going back, and as I've told other people about it, it's so easy. It's
yeah,
so easy to get involved.
it is. And it's kind of scary at first when you think about it. Like, okay, what am I getting myself into? Let's be real. Like that
600
step.
wings is scary.
Yeah, it is, but it really isn't. Once you learn the flow, like we'll tell you when to start cooking. But if you're here's tip number one: don't come out with your old charcoal Weber and think that's enough, right? You can do that, but you're going to be
I will tell you from experience.
yeah.
No, don't do
You
that.
well, you can do that, but you got to have the right prep work on behind the scenes to make sure you're keeping things hot and fresh. Thank you, Jackson County Health Department. We got that covered. Just to make sure you're staying on pace, right? There's ways that you can go about that. So we don't want to discourage you. If you're not sure if you have the right equipment or thing, just pick up the phone and reach out, send me an email. we'll absolutely reach out to you in a timely manner to kind of talk through what your concerns are or what questions you have so you can make an informed decision. But Nick said it best, man. It's worth it. Whatever level you want to participate in. It's such an amazing organization. We're already up to 40 sponsors this year. And the
Wow.
event's still over about 100 days away, right?
Right.
Our goal is to get to at least 50. We want to match what we did last year. It was such a massive event last year. We want to match that. But
I would say I would say this tip too: do some practice runs.
yeah,
Because if you haven't had to cook 600 wings in 3 hours or whatever the time frame is,
yeah,
get yourself ready.
yeah.
And it's a blast. You're gonna have a lot of fun, and you're
Well,
gonna meet a ton of people.
I'm happy to be that advocate for anybody that wants some advice. I worked in the restaurant industry and catering and food service industry for 2 decades. If you're looking for somebody to give you some tips and tricks on how to navigate that, regardless of what your setup is, I've probably seen it all. I know for a fact I've seen it all at Wings for Water, right? I've seen all the different ways that people do those things.
There are all different types of
Oh
cooks
my
out there.
gosh, yeah. But if you need help with that, pick up the phone, shoot an email. I'll be happy to help you with that. But
I
yeah,
saw a team last year with air fryers.
yeah, there were air fryers out there. So they had air fryers. There was the old traditional like turkey fryers, big giant like
Trailer smokers.
yeah, you know those things you see outside Hy-Vee, those big Cecil Holt smokers.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, oh yeah.
All types.
Then you have my professional barbecue team, like Meat Rushmore. That's the guys that helped cook for us last year. A local world class competition barbecue team. They got the whole trailer out there, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get all the types. Hey, so let's make another quick call out here.
Sure.
As we start to wrap things up. People want to get involved. Where can they go? How can they either sign up or just get the information that they need?
I love that. Thanks for asking. So again, the website, easiest thing you can do of all time. Wings, number 4, water.org. Go there, check it out. All the information's listed. There's also really cool videos, so you can actually see the videos from previous years about how that event is set up. Of course, our socials. You can go to Facebook, check us out on Facebook, out on Twitter, Instagram. We're out there live in real time. We post regularly, so if you have questions and you can't reach us via email, you can put something out on the socials, and we'll get you covered there as well. But if you want immediate access, just go to wings4water.org. Check us out. Contact information, sponsorship information, all listed online.
You mentioned the socials. Let's shout them out. Where can they find you on the Instagrams, the Facebooks?
Yeah. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. X. I keep saying Twitter. It's X now.
Yeah. Artist formerly known as Twitter.
Yes. Thank you, Elon. So Wings for Water. Just go search it out there. We're online. Easy enough.
Awesome. All right. Now here's the hardest question for you.
Bring it.
Why? Tell me why. Why should they get involved in this?
Oh my gosh. It depends on who you are. No joke.
Give your pitch.
Yeah.
What does it for you?
What does it for me is being in the community. Is to get out there and do something good for my local community here in Lee Summit, Eastern Southern Jackson County. That's why I do it. I don't do it because my bank wants to get out there and get our brand out there. We all know how big my bank is. I don't care about that stuff. We want to be a part of this event because it's the right thing to do. I come to this event every year, one, because Turney keeps bringing me back, right? He pulls me back in, right? But it's such a fun event.
He's good at the voluntold.
Yeah, he's a voluntold guy. It's such a fun event, man. Whether you're there just as somebody who's there to eat the wings and make your rounds and meet the local community and see everyone just getting together and having a blast, the live music, or you're there because you're really passionate about community service and finding ways to give back to the community and be engaged, be involved, or you're a local business that you're wanting to get your brand out there, you want to get your business known and to be seen. Wherever you're at in that scale, everybody benefits from that. Here's the coolest thing, and my son's going to kill me for doing this to him. He really didn't know. He's 15. He's a sophomore going into sophomore year at Lee Summit West. He really didn't know what to expect. Like he came the first couple years as a young kid. Then there was like that gap when you're in middle school and you're not, hanging with dad, right? He came last year with his mom, and he's like, "Oh my God, I didn't know how awesome this was." I'm like, "Yeah, man. You get to walk around and eat 50 different varieties of chicken wings, and you get to give money for a good cause, and you get to hang out with your friends and listen to live music." It's literally, Nick, man, it's such a fun event. It depends on who you are. It depends on what you're there for. We need everybody to be a part of this. We need sponsors. Of course, we need sponsors. We have a great sponsorship family that consistently comes back to us. We also have first-year sponsors that join us. We're always in need of good cooks. Maybe you're a great backyard cook and you want to do this, but you don't want to pay that fee. I promise you, we can pair you up with a sponsor that needs a cook. We're happy to help with that. If you want to do that, you can just as easily reach out. That's a way that you don't have to pay the fee, but maybe somebody sponsors you. We're happy to help you with that.
Absolutely. There's always businesses looking for a cook.
Oh, yes. That's the one thing
That's
that people.
Why I shifted to getting ringers, right? Like
exactly.
I'm a pretty good cook, but I'm not going to keep up with those guys.
Well, I don't know, man. I did 1 year.
I did my 2 years.
You did your rounds, right? But no, I mean, there are local. Even if this is going to be your first year coming out and you're not sure if you want to be a sponsor, come attend the event and just ask the local businesses that are there, why are you here? And they'll tell you, man, it's fun. Tony Olson, one of our partners downtown Lee Summit, he's been such a great partner to work with us. He's helping us with a lot of stuff. He continues to come back. He's like, man, he wants to be for the competition piece of it, right? On the sponsors, he wants that trophy. I want that trophy too, right? But man, it doesn't matter who you are, what kind of business you are, what drives you. If you come to that event, you'll understand why it's such a magnetic and fun environment, and why you need to come back next year and participate. And it doesn't really matter to us. Come out and be a part of it. Just bring those dollars too. We want to donate. It is for a good cause. We want to raise money for the clean water and local relief efforts.
I think that's a great way to put it. It's a community event. It's a ton of fun. You're going to see a lot of people. You're going to meet people. You're going to meet Tony, who owns Neighborhood Cafe. You're going to see Brandon from Jazzy B. So you're going to see all these people, that or their food, or their business. You're going to see friends out there. I always give people this challenge. My first year that I attended was at Bridge Space, and I got to be a guest judge. And I challenged myself to eat a wing at every booth.
Oh, man. How was your belly the next day? I'm just curious.
That was a mistake. And, that's probably half the number of cooks that we have now.
Mm-hmm.
So I challenge you, try to eat as many as you can. Try to give as many dollars as you can.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was hard.
Well, I am going to make a pitch, Nick. I got to make this pitch.
Okay.
All right. We're already at 40 sponsors this year, which is well on our way to meeting our goal, right? I want to see us get to 60 sponsors. We can do that. I think we can do it. The local community, once they go out there and check out the website, they go to the socials, see what the event's about, listen back on this podcast. I know there's going to be folks out there, you know what? I might try it. If you're on the fence, pick up the phone, call Nick, call me, call Turney up, call Carrie Williams. She's our steering chairwoman, excuse me. Call us and we'll tell you where the benefit is. It does pay off. Absolutely, it does.
100%. So look, if you're thinking about it, if you are, or the best cook in your neighborhood or your favorite restaurant, let them know. Come out. It's a lot of fun. And, as a quick aside, we're going to do a lot of good too.
We're going to do a great amount of good, if you will. But hey, man, just one last pitch for those businesses, right? I bet that Kansas City barbecue that society trophy is going to look good on your wall.
Yeah.
Right. If you're a backyard barbecuer and you're always in competition with your neighbors, you can just roll that sucker out with your full display, put that right up there. Just remind your neighbors, hey, who's the champ? Right there on your wall.
Not gonna lie, we were a little disappointed last year.
Oh, sorry.
You know what? We thought we were going to do better than we did.
I'm telling you. Well, hey, you had a ringer last year, Nick. You had a ringer. But take a step further. Who won the competition wasn't a professional barbecue cook.
A ringer cook.
A backyarder. Yeah.
100%. Hey, Ryan, thanks so much for coming on. Good luck with this. We got a challenge out, folks. We need 20 more sponsors.
Let's do it.
Let's go get those. One more time, the website to go to.
wings4water.org. wings4water.org.
Awesome. Ryan, thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Nick. Thanks so much.
That'll wrap us up for this week. We'll talk to everybody next time.